Okay, looks like we're live. Welcome to the stream, everybody, or everybody that's here. It looks like I had a couple of people waiting. So it's been about 2 weeks since my last live. Didn't go live last week because I forgot my laptop and couldn't go live tonight. I got the Ford Takeover, which is fine. Give me time to relax and do other things. So Ford Takeover has come and gone for the year. Had a blast. Everything went pretty good, except for one thing. Had one little problem. Now, if you saw what the name of the stream tonight was called, is cars don't just roll out of trailers, do they? Yeah, they do sometimes. I had my car fully strapped down, and it decided those 4 straps weren't enough. Somehow it came loose from all 4 of them, broke the door latches on my trailer, and came rolling out at a stoplight and ran into Big Block 402's brand new truck. So if you weren't there, that's what happened to me this weekend. So it could have been much worse. It could have been somebody I didn't know. It could have happened while I was going down the road at speed, but it happened right as I was taking off from a stoplight. So it wasn't a great thing to have happen. I didn't know what had happened. I just heard something scraping, and I got out to check and saw what had happened. And I was lucky that my wife had just left to go to Arby's because she was right behind me, and it probably would have come out on top of her car. And that would not have been good. Hey, Zach, I see you there. I'll bring you in just a minute. So yeah, that's why the whole title of tonight's stream. So, hey, Zach.
Good.
Oh, crap. That was not muted. Okay. So I'm not sure all's in here. If you're in here, say hi in the chat. Good having you in here. If you got a topic of discussion you'd like to discuss and you're not coming up on the panel, hey, Nate, I need to see you. There you are. A little bit of delay there.
It's all good.
Let's see. How do I get that off?
I figured there was no way. When I seen the title of the stream, I went, there's no way that car rolled out of that trailer.
Oh, yeah, there is.
I just thought it was a joke. I was like, there's no way. I don't even know how it's possible.
Totally possible. Don't know how. So Big Block, do you know Big Block 402?
Mm-mm.
Okay, he's got a channel. A good guy, real good guy. So is Steven. And hey, boss man, how's it going? Good seeing you again this weekend. But he was behind me in his brand new 900 miles on it F-150. And when I started taking off the light, my car was loose, hit the door, broke the latches, rolled out, and hit his truck. Didn't cause too much damage. You know, I gave, we did the whole insurance thing because I can't do that to a friend. And I didn't see any damage on my car, really. But he was there. He watched me tie it down. He watched me strap it down. 4 straps, super tight.
He asked the same question probably too. How does that even happen?
We're both like, how? How did this happen? Hey, Bama. Hey, Mike. Hey, what's up, David? And the straps were still lying in the floor of the trailer like they were attached. They hadn't come loose. They were still all ratcheted up, and they were just like there. But I have a fix for that I just bought. They'll be here tomorrow. I bought some ratchet straps with safety hooks on them.
Probably helpful. Whoever thought they would make those. Apparently, you're not the first one.
I'm going to put a safety hook on my winch, and I'm going to keep the winch attached from now on. And I probably won't have time before my trip to Michigan, but I'm going to be swapping winches out from the little 3500 to a 9000. I was getting ready to do it tonight. Started jacking the trailer up, and then looked at what time it was and went, oh, crap, I got a live tonight. I got to go. I didn't get home from work until like 5:30 today, so it was a quick evening. And I couldn't do it. till later anyway because it's so damn hot. Tomorrow's supposed to be over 100.
Yeah,
So,
same for us.
and Friday I get to go down to Birmingham and work at a plant all weekend. So
It was cool here all day.
And I don't have my truck here right now because my truck's still at the shop. I got to call them in the morning and go, hey, I gave y'all till Thursday to get this fixed. I bet that if they haven't done anything to it at all yet, I'm going to be pissed.
Have you heard anything about your ordered truck?
Yeah, I canceled the order.
Did you?
Yeah, when she told me when June came, I hadn't heard anything, and I got a message from her going, hey, we haven't heard anything. We don't have a date yet or anything. And I said, cancel the order. It's done. Just done with it.
When did you order it?
The day the order banks opened.
My buddy just got his, and he ordered his the same day. He just got it 2 days ago.
He got it. He got
450 Lariat.
Yeah. Well, I had a Platinum. Same thing. One level up. But, if it's a Lariat Ultimate, they're the same. The only difference is the plaque on the back of it.
Yeah, I don't think his is an Ultimate. I was asking my other buddy. He says it's a pretty base Lariat. He said he didn't order a whole bunch of extra.
But it's I never even got a build date for it. So
he didn't either. I had heard nothing, and I was just home at the beginning of the month, and he'd heard nothing.
It had gotten to the point where I wanted to order. They wouldn't let me order another one because the order banks are closed again. I wanted to order a different one that was like $20,000 less anyway. I wanted to go down to a, instead of getting the limited like I'd ordered, I wanted to go down to the Lariat or the Platinum, either one, with the Godzilla engine in it instead of the diesel, which was more than $20,000 less of a truck.
Believe it or not, so we have found out my dad has one of them. He has a 250 with a 7.3 in it, and my other buddy has a 550 with a 6.7, and they both had them. We call them bin block. They're the giant concrete blocks that people use for landscaping materials. They make bins out of them. They'll stack them 2-3 high, and they'll put like mulch in bins, and then they can load you up at mulching places. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
I've seen them. I just never knew what they were.
That's what I've seen them used for. But my dad had. They make them decorative, so they look like they're stone on the front, like stamped concrete.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad got, I think he built a wall out of them, and he got 10 of them. They had 5 on his trailer on his 250, and they had 5 on my buddy's 550 6.7 on his gooseneck. And my dad clearly outrun him running uphill. My buddy couldn't believe it. He says, I know this truck's detoned a little bit. He says, I know he said, mine will do it every day, all day for a long time versus my dad's is not going to make it 200,000 miles. He said, but the truck clearly outrun him.
It's got more horsepower.
Yep.
It doesn't have more torque.
There was quite a few people. He says, if I wouldn't run with them with the exact same load, he said, I'd have never believed it.
So what year 550 do you have?
His is a 19 or a 20.
If it was a 19, it had even less horsepower and torque in it.
And they detune the 550s like, I think 20 horses is detuned from or 20 or 30 because they're so big.
Why would they detune a 550? Because it's the same motor.
Because you can haul so much weight with it. They don't want you to overheat it. So they detune them to keep you from burning it up.
Yeah, I'd have no problem with it. So everybody I've talked to that owns the Godzilla, and I've looked at their specs, they have plenty of horsepower and plenty of torque to be able to pull, especially the loads I'm pulling now. I don't have that big, 26 trailer to pull anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I needed the F450 was because of my trailer. I missed that trailer, but I don't have it anymore. And I've got a much lesser, smaller 24-foot trailer. That if I ever change this one out, it'd be to a newer, lighter one. I could probably find one of the new ones that is longer and bigger that would weigh less than this one. Yeah. And then my car, And, if I can't get this trailer fixed, I'm going to end up having to take the flatbed. I don't want to have to do that because you can't store things inside the flatbed.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because there's no inside. My flatbed's only a 16-footer, so my car takes up the entire thing. There is no spare room on it.
Now with your trailer, what all did
Let me see the face, little wing split. I got to see your face before I can let you on. Little wing split, can you hear me?
Who is that?
It's Wig Split's son.
Oh,
Okay, that's him. I just couldn't let him in until I saw his face because I can't trust anybody now after the other
Yeah.
day. So that's Jasper Hampton's boy. The guy who drives the car Wig Split. It's a Camaro, kind of like Boosted's, but it's orange.
Oh, okay.
Fast, really fast.
yeah. I just didn't recognize the name at first.
Yeah.
What's up, Pinks?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
You at home or you over at Boosted House?
I'm at home.
Okay. Just wondering if maybe you and Branson was hanging out today or something.
Nah, he's at his mom's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Had to go back to mom's when he got home?
What?
Had to go back to his mom's when they got home from
Yeah, he went back to his mom's like Monday, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I figured that when he got home from Fort Takeover, had to go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda sad. It's okay. I only saw my dad during the summer when I was a kid. I'd go see because we lived across the country from him. I was in either West Virginia or North Carolina, and he lived in California when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I like the Godzilla, and a friend of mine, one of my coworkers at work has one. He has a 250 with the Godzilla.
Yeah.
And the real nice thing about it is he already put an exhaust on it that just sounds so good. Just sounds. So you can make it sound good putting an exhaust on it.
Yeah. So the only thing, and I understand why they did it. So with all the new trucks and cars, so like they don't do it with a Mustang. Like it's amazing what they do with torque management through the computer. So like you flat foot my dad's truck and it doesn't. You can feel it opening a butterfly for the throttle body, even though your foot to the floor because it's electronic drive-by-wire and I don't want it frying. It smolder the tires every time you pull it out of somewhere if it gave you all the power now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would love for it to be able to. So if you tune them, I've seen what you can do with them.
I'm sure it's ridiculous.
If they're tuned, but it's so hard to find anybody to tune them. And since mine's got a good warranty on it, there's no reason to get rid of it. Auto start stop sucks. That I would remove.
Yes.
I would find a way to make that not work anymore.
I don't know if my dad's. I'd have to look. I've never heard him complain about it. So I don't know if his does it.
Yeah.
And his is a 2022. I got to think about this.
So does he have the big 12-inch screen in it? Because those came out in 22 and I got a 21.
It's a 22 or a 20. It's definitely a 22. It might even be a 20. The guy that bought it got it in September of 22.
Okay, that's definitely a 22 then. So he bought it used?
Yeah, he bought it. Already had 36,000 miles on it.
That's not too bad. Lost you there for a second, a little wing split. Oh.
I got auto start stop.
My truck just hit over 20,000 miles this last weekend.
Nice. Now, how long have you had that truck?
Since March of 21.
Okay.
So 2.5, a little over 2 years.
So my buddy that got that new 450, his was the one I showed you doing donuts in the parking lot. Well, he got it, and I don't know if it was 4 months he had it deleted, and he sent out the computer to have the computer done, so he didn't have a bunch of codes and stuff. And when he ordered his new one, and whenever the banks opened last year, and midway like the beginning of this year, his transmission started acting up. So we now know that the motor will put out way more than the transmission will handle.
Yeah, and it's an upgraded transmission too.
Yeah.
It's just not that upgraded. It's much stronger than. I mean, I'd be nice if they could put that transmission into the Mustang. but I think the gearing's a little off. But
Yeah.
But how strong it is, it would take way more power than the one the Mustang does. Because I mean, my torque is 1050. That's my peak torque, and it'll do the peak torque from, I think, what is it, like? It's really low RPMs all the way through. It'll torque the whole way. That the horsepower hits like right around the mid range. Yeah, so around 22 or 2500, because it's a diesel. They don't really high rev.
No. What's a turn? Red line's probably 3,500 in that truck, if you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in cruise in 10th gear it sits right around $2,000 usually, if I'm not towing, especially. Depends on if I hit that sweet spot. So I found the best for, especially when not towing, the best speed for gas mileage is about 65. So if I'm in a 65 mile an hour zone, that's great. It's really weird because if I drive slower than that, it gets worse. And if I drive faster than that, it gets worse. Towing, it doesn't matter. It pretty much gets the same gas mileage no matter what speed you go. And I don't usually try and go over any, 65 to 68 when I'm towing. Unless I'm in a 70 mile an hour zone, then I'll go 70. But, the trailer doesn't really like to go that fast.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Congrats. You and Sublime made LMR's video.
Oh, yeah.
You see that?
I saw Sublime. I didn't see myself.
You're on the other side of them.
Really?
Yep. I seen your car and I went, that looks like Pink's car.
Oh, you mean my
didn't even
car?
notice Sublime's. I don't know how you missed the car.
Oh, the car. I thought you meant me.
No, the car.
Not me. Okay, yeah, I saw my car. But they really pictured his more than mine. So
I just knew. I honestly noticed yours.
I can't believe that I realized LMR was there, but I forgot to go up and say hi to him because I've been watching LMR forever and should have bought so many damn parts from them, especially when I was doing Fox bodies.
Yep.
They had parts that nobody else could get, and in fact my two-step I got from them. Hey, little Boosted. What's up, Boost Addict? Fat Boy Fox, how's it going? Sorry, I'm just now looking at the chat.
No, it's all good.
Hey,
Yeah.
Boosted. Hello, Boosted.
I kept doing that too, Boost Addict. I'd see one and think it was mine, then I'd see the wing or the front grill and know it was yours. So did you get that tune yet? Or have you not had a chance to do the long drive to get the 15-minute data sweep? Oh, I'm surprised Sublime isn't in here.
I hit 111 subs today.
Did you? Good for you.
Yeah. This morning I woke up with 99 subs, and then like 15 minutes later I get 11 more subs.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. You got to ask Little Boosted how he did it, because he went to like 1K like that. So I'd like to know his secret. What sauce was he running to do that? I think he got a little help from being Boosted boy, just linked.
He definitely got some help from his dad.
Yeah, I'm sure. You're better, a little Boosted. Were you sick?
Didn't he hit the bottom of the pool or something?
What's that?
What happened?
I said, didn't little Booster hit the bottom of the pool or something, didn't he?
Oh, that's I heard about that. I wasn't there that day. I was busy dealing with the trailer and a car rolling out of it. So
The car rolling out
here and wasn't there, yes, my car rolled out of my trailer without me wanting it to. So
would you since I missed that part, I'm sorry, my aunt just pulled up a while ago.
At the bottom of the pool.
Were you pulling away or did it just roll out?
I was pulling away at a stoplight, going to the hotel. I was almost there, and it was loose. It knocked the door down and came out and hit Big Block 402's truck.
Yeah, I heard about 402 Big Block, but I didn't know if he was moving or maybe you was just in the parking lot.
I just started moving at the stoplight.
I didn't know you hit the bottom of the pool here, Ransom.
Mm.
All the Canadian smoke is back.
Is it?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Tell those Canucks to keep their smoke. Where's 91 Mustang LX? You can yell at him to tell them to turn their fans on so they can keep their smoke there.
Don't worry. Whenever he shows up, I'll make sure I say something. My buddy just sent me a picture from Pittsburgh, and
Hold on, let me full screen it. Before
I don't know if you'll be able to see very well. You see that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can see that. It looks like a foggy morning.
That
Oh,
was
shit.
like 2 hours
Is that
ago.
an ST?
I didn't know.
That looks like a Ford.
But yeah,
Where's that at?
that's in Pittsburgh, PA.
That's in Pittsburgh.
That's probably on 376 is my bet.
Yeah. I haven't been up that way in so long.
It's not even that bad here, but it is noticeable. Like today,
will.
it just looked like everything was kind of foggy, but it was overcast and it kind of wanted the rain. So I didn't know if it was actual fog and then I checked towards the end of the day. I started checking the air quality and it's garbage.
Oh, I feel old today. My daughter just turned 27.
Does your
I'm
daughter
old
live in?
now.
Does she live around you, or she live in
No,
Washington?
she's in like Spokane, Washington area. If you know where that is.
Yeah, I have an idea where it's at.
It's close to Idaho and eastern Washington.
Gotcha.
Place I've never really been. So I've actually never been. I think I've been through there one time, and it was so long ago that yeah, I never go over there. Although the track that's over in Spokane got bought last year, and they've done it. In fact, the reservation, the Indians bought it, and they're doing a lot of work to it. They're adding a casino, a hotel, all kinds of stuff, and they're really trying to build the track up, which is nice for that area. So because it's a road course and a drag strip, and a dirt bike track, and an off-road track, and it's all of them. It's a motorsports park.
The Indian reservation up here, they got like a giant burnout pit that they built along the highway, and they have events every week.
They got one of those in Florida too. It's called the Freedom Factory. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a little YouTube channel that has it. So
Really, might have to check him out.
have you never checked it out, McFarland?
Oh, I actually haven't. I've heard all about it.
See, this McFarland has some great, and he's expanded now because now he's got airplane content, jet boat content, the cars, drag strip, race course, burnouts, you name it, they do it. He was flying. Took Dave's Diesel Dave. You know,
Yeah.
He took his Blackhawk out for a ride the other day because he's a helicopter pilot too.
Yeah.
That Blackhawk is badass.
I see a lot of things suggested to me, and I've watched a few of his videos here and there, and I've heard about everything.
I think he's just fun. He has fun. They have a lot of fun, and they make a lot of money, so they can have fun. I own so much of his stuff, so I helped push some of that through. I'm sure. I probably bought him a car with all the damn T-shirts I own. But just one of his used, his Crown Vics, one of the cheap ones.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of fun to watch, and got family over. You tell that family to take off, eh? Well, thanks for stopping by. Anyway, Sublime, I'll be on for a little while. But
Another person that makes ridiculous money for doing absolutely the dumbest stuff is Whistling Diesel.
I was going to say, as soon as you said the dumbest, I was like, Whistling Diesel.
He makes so many people mad because
I don't get mad because he has fun.
It makes no difference.
He has fun. He bought it. Let him do what he wants with it. I don't care. It's not like I can afford that stuff.
So he did he bought that International 1206 tractor.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh wow! I follow a bunch of Farm All and International pages on Facebook.
Yeah.
It was like a complete meltdown for
Oh,
everyone
I'm sure.
because those tractors are pretty sought after. Like, and he knows that they
Mhm.
are. He paid 25,000, and that's what they go for restored.
MJI. That's a new tag for you there. MJI 83 GT.
Yeah.
Changed your name? How's it going, MJI? It was good seeing you this weekend too, and Isaiah. And okay, see you later, Sublime.
Did you run your car at all?
Me? Yeah, I did.
How'd it do?
I made 7. What did I run? A 7.3, a 7.5, and then a 7.0.
I watched your short that you were back and you'd ran it, but you didn't really say nothing about times.
I have not had time to put a video together because I'm lazy and I've been working and like I had to cut grass, and I did make some slow passes. I did. That's right, Boost Addict. Yeah, it was great seeing you too, MJI. It's great seeing everybody that showed up there. That's the one thing I go for. It's like all the events and everything are cool, but I like hanging out with the people and having the cars. Like I didn't even stay at the pre-meet long enough to watch the burnout competition. I got the one burnout with the pace car Fox body.
Yep.
That was it. But he did that way early. Yeah. So what was this? The 6th or 7th Ford takeover? I can't remember. It's my second one I've been to, and I'm really looking forward to Ford takeover 2024 now. It's time to get ready for that.
How many did you say you've been to?
Just 2.
Now, was it bigger this year than it was last year?
Yeah.
Or did it seem about the same?
From what I could tell, it was, but because like the car show was on the other side of the track instead of where it normally is, because they were doing all that construction, it was hard to tell. Well, that's weird. MJI 387. Well, I'm not used to the MJI 83 GT. That's all new to me. Oh, it's his handle. Yeah, probably. He didn't pick a handle before they picked it for you. I was lucky I had picked my handle already, so it should have just gone with whatever your channel name was, because you have a channel name. Ben was trying to make me sick, moving his camera around like that.
That green S197 made me want to put a turbo on my car really bad.
Which green?
It was the winner of the boosted dyno.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that thing was badass.
What size turbo was on that thing? Any idea? It was huge. It was like, it looked like it was this big under the hood.
It wasn't that big.
I know it wasn't. I know there's not that much room, but it looked way bigger.
So, I personally have so many videos on my car or on my phone and stuff. Hey, Karma, what's up? I need to get all the videos that I have and my wife has and get them all consolidated onto my computer, the one that I haven't turned on in like a month, which is my video editing computer, and actually make a video or two and get some loaded up. I'll try and do it tomorrow. God, I just have no month. I don't have time, because Friday I have to head down to Birmingham for work, and I'll be working through the 4th. And tonight I didn't have time because I got home at like 5:30. I played with the dogs. I fed the dogs. Then I went out and cut the grass. Then I started doing some work on my trailer, and then realized I had to come in. By that time, it was almost 8 o'clock. I had to come in, take a shower. I just don't have time.
No, I know.
I went to, and it sucks, as I went to work at 6:30 this morning. 96
those long hours.
I know. Hey, you hit 3K. Congrats. Awesome. Victor.
Hey, yeah, Carmel.
That would make sense, boss man.
Victor. Downhill Daddy.
Has a ton of people in it. Welcome. So for the newcomers that weren't at Ford Takeover, yes, my car rolled out of my trailer unbeknownst to me at a stoplight. If you don't believe me, ask Big Block 402. He will attest to it because it damaged his brand new truck. But everything was okay. It could have been so much worse, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad damage. I haven't noticed anything wrong with my car. But what I do like when the videos I've seen of my car is the Hell Yeah Brother that I painted on the tires. Looks really good. Looks really good going down the track. So there's a video. I don't know if you've watched Boosted's video. If you watch Boosted's video, at the end of it, it's me going up against Tony Montana, the Fox body, the convertible Fox body.
Yeah.
And that's like a 4-second car. I knew I was. I just went up there because they called the lanes open right after the first round of stick shift shootout, and it was early in the morning. I was like, I just need to run down the track. I want to run down the track. And so I ran out there, and yeah, especially when the tires move so slow, you can see it. Yeah. But that's the first 80 feet, not just 60, but the first 80 feet, you can read it because my car takes off really slow. And so Tony spun twice when he was going up against me, and he still blew me away. It was the only time he ran that day. It was too hot. And they shut the track down like
Hey, Pink.
June. What's up?
What about them closing the track down so early?
Well, what happens is if it hasn't not rained in like a week plus, once it gets so hot, water starts seeping up into the track. So,
Yeah, I mean, I knew that. I was just wondering if it was actually happening.
yeah, it was. It was funny though. Ball sticking to your leg hot. Yeah, and it's going to be even hotter this weekend. Jeez. This weekend's going to be in the hundreds.
I'm already tired of it.
Yeah, well.
So I got up this morning and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. A triangle. Heat advisory because our feels like is up to 120 now.
Hey, once I get rolling fast. If I could keep going after that 8th mile, I mean, I looked down right after the 8th mile before I hit the brakes once I passed the line, because I passed the line with the ET of the 107. When I looked down, I was doing 120. And that was like right after, before I hit the brakes. That car really picks up when I get to the top of the RPM range in 3rd gear before I shift to 4th, and I never get to 4th in an 8th mile because I've already passed the line. It's just like that car will move. It definitely has a back half. It's a back half car on a 1/4 mile, and it just because I have to take off in 2nd gear, it's 60-foot shit. Doesn't matter what. And if I try and take off in 1st, I spin the tires, or I have to go such a low RPM takeoff that it bogs down. What's
What
up?
gear you got in that? 373?
Huh?
What gear are you having at 373?
331.
Oh.
When I got the car, it was a 355. It's now a 331.
Why'd you change it?
Because I was lived at a 1/4 mile track, and I was going to be putting the Whipple on it.
Gotcha.
Because the 375 or 373s, I'd really blow the tires off.
Yeah.
Here. Could you imagine? I blow them off now. If I try and launch at like 3,000 RPM here, I will spin 1st and 2nd. So now I launch in 2nd gear at 4,600 RPM, and it doesn't usually spin. It spun a little bit, but not much. But like I get a better. Yes, 331 is auto gears, but that's what I put in it downhill. Maybe I should have put the auto in it.
Nah.
If I had to do over again though, the TH400 would be in there. Because the guy who sold me the Whipple, like 2 days after I sent my transmission off to Calimer the first time, he offered me his transmission, drive shaft, the whole setup for less than it cost me for the Calimer upgrade.
Wow.
But it was too late at that point. I'd already just paid for it. Yeah, I know 6R80 is close to it, but the 6R80 doesn't handle the power.
TH400. What was that in?
A lot of stuff. How did the video I took come out? I don't know. Did you send it to me? Or did you post it anywhere, Boost Addict? I have no idea. You have one of those clutch slippers. They are supposed to help. A clutch slipper. I don't wear a slipper. Oh, you used my camera. Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah, that one actually came out pretty good. Sorry. I'm slow. I'm slow, Mike. Standard is fun, especially if I'm going anything other than drag strip. If I'm going around a road course, I'd much rather. Actually, I can't say that because I've driven the Audi and my wife's car, which is both have the paddle shift around a road course, and that is so much fun.
I was going to say that'd probably be a lot of fun and easier to deal with.
Yes, the 6R80 can handle up to 600 horsepower. My car is pushing 1,000 at the crank at least, and 900 plus at the wheels. So the 6R80 does not like my engine. I do like the 6R80. It's not bad. That's what my wife has in hers. Works great for her power. But for me, I would have needed something a little bit stronger. Yes, it is a GM transmission. TH400 is GM. I don't care. I just want what works. And then I'd probably put a PTC converter on it, which they are literally right around the block from where I work. PTC is right in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. You have a 6R80 with a 373, but it came that way. That's odd. That's an odd combination.
That's weird.
How did you come up with that, Victor? How did you do that?
Probably a special order. You can probably order anything you
Oh,
want
I'm
if you're a dealer.
I wouldn't blame him if I ran a TH400 either, Downhill.
My old F-150.
I'd probably do much better and have much more consistent runs and be able to start running an Index 7.0. No problem. I might even have to, at that, I might have to move to the 680. Really? Pony's not, 92? His, talking his S550? God, it's been so long, I can't remember since you did a video even other than a BMX video. Which, I don't know how you go from cars to BMX like that, but some people do. Oh, kind of like me having a 6-speed manual and having the 331s. Yeah, if I had the 373s, I would not be able to start in first gear at all. I probably wouldn't be able to do it on the road because I have trouble taking off from a stoplight and not burning the tires. I end up having to slip the hell out of the clutch.
I wonder if you put like the 308 in it, if it would help. Then you could start in first.
I don't know. That might be a little too low.
My F-150 had one, which I have no clue who special ordered that truck. It was a base model XL F-150 97, had a 4.2 V6 in it with a 5-speed and had a 308 rear.
Yeah. Nice.
Third gear, 100 mile an hour all day long. If you could get the motor to turn fast enough.
Oh,
so if you shifted fourth, it'd start dropping because it couldn't hold the power.
I do 100 mile an hour in third gear too. I do 120 in third gear.
Yeah.
At the top of third gear, I'm doing 120.
That truck had, I think it had what was it? Ford's T19. It's the same 5-speed they put behind the straight 6.
Oh, what was that?
I think it's a T19. It's a Mazda tranny.
I don't know.
I think
T56. God, I saw a Magnum, because Tremec was there. Tremec, they had their booth set up. They have that cut open Tremec, the T56 drop in transmission it's such a nice looking transmission. It really is beautiful. Those gears in it are just so nice looking, and having that direct, top load stick shift instead of the rear load is so much nicer. It just means you have a shorter drive shaft, which is great. I prefer a shorter drive shaft.
Yeah.
Less deflection. So I don't know. I'll keep running it. I'll keep having fun with it. I'm not trying to break records. I'm not trying to beat I usually only do TNTs with it. Everything I do with it is mostly for me. It's not to win races because I can't win. It's like everybody's like, why didn't you run the stick shift shootout? I'm like, those guys are running low sixes.
It almost makes it no fun. Like I remember going to the drag strip, things were always competitive, but at the same time, you weren't making 900 horsepower.
Do I like winning? Yeah, it's great. So if I want to win, I have to do bracket racing and stick shift bracket racing. Oh, you suck. That's horrible because almost everybody I go up against is in an automatic, and they can set their shit up to where it runs the same time every time. Because when I had that Audi, I ran down the track at 11.5. When I was running the low tune, I would run 11.5 between 11.5 and 11.53 every single time. It didn't take anything to do it. You just had to wait till the lights turned, yellow, hit the gas, you went. And you made the same time every time. Did not matter. I didn't care what the temperature was. It could have been 80 out. It could have been 100 out. It ran the same time every time.
Yeah.
Because it adjusted for the temperatures.
My buddy's dad, he always went for bracket racing on Saturdays in Ohio, and he had a 93 Fox body with a 5-speed, and he won a lot more than I think he probably should have.
Hey, boss, I really wish we could have gone up. I really wish we could have raced each other. You would have beat me looking at your time. Yeah, I can't believe how quick that car is for the power. I can't believe how quick it is. Now, what did you actually run when you ran, boss man? I can't remember. I know what you ran when you brought us Maniac's time slip, but what did you run when you ran the actual car? I can't remember what times you got. You showed me, but my brain does not remember. So it's funny. He comes up and starts showing people his time slip, and it was Maniac's time slip, and Maniac was in the low sixes. And Maniac did give him the slower time slip too. But Maniac's car is pretty beast. At 10 something, 10:06, yeah, 10:06 at 77. Hey, that's not bad. Bossman's car is freaking awesome. It's a nice looking car, and I don't even like white cars, but Boss 302s just look good.
I don't think there's a bad looking one personally. I'm sitting here thinking 12 and 13. I'm trying to think of one that might even
Alabama. Oh, is that what you ran boosted? I didn't even see it. 10-2. Did you run that? You ran that Friday night, or did you run that today? Because I missed you running then. 10:06 at 77. Hey, when you get some boost on it, boss man, it'll be way faster. Mr. Shannon Scott. That name sounds really familiar. Shannon Scott. I know that name. I've seen him run. I've seen him run a few times. Oh, video out yesterday. I don't remember seeing the time on that video. I saw the video because, I probably watched it while I was at work, so I don't pay as much attention to them when I'm at work. I just kind of play them and like them and make sure. Oh, Shannon's the 240. Okay. I know. Now I know who it is.
Friday I go pick up what are they? LHT axle or over axle pipes. I found a set on Marketplace.
Oh,
A
yeah?
guy up here locally, about 40 minutes away, selling them. Never even put them on a car. He traded his car for a Raptor before he ever put them on. $200. Come get them. I think they're 420 new.
Yeah, I wish I could have made another pass too. After that 7-0, I wanted to make one more pass. They shut the lanes down. Oh, it was really bad. My second run is when I got this horrible reaction time because I lit both bulbs and I was sitting there waiting. I put it up on the 2-step. And it just goes red. No yellows, nothing. Just goes red. And I'm like, waited a second, going, what the hell? Why did and fucking took off. Because it red lit me because I guess I rolled. Even though when I take my foot off the brake, my car holds the brake automatically.
Mine does too.
Because I have that set on, I have it turned on especially for the track. So it won't roll.
I wonder if I can turn that off with my car because it drives me nuts with my car.
I can
Sometimes
turn it
it's
off.
nice, but
The hills, it's a hill start.
that's what I figured it was
Hill
for.
start assist.
But sometimes it doesn't fully release immediately. As I start letting out on a clutch, it's normally disengages, but every once in a while I'll drag the
Oh
brakes.
my God. No, I don't remember that Mustang Boost Addict because that Mustang burned a hole in my brain and I can't remember it now because it shouldn't have existed. There was a donked out Mustang behind the Longhorn.
Who does that?
Somebody in Tennessee.
Oh, there was. Let me see if I can find this S197 again. There was a guy selling an S197, called it a project car. And I think he was asking $15,000 for this thing. I don't even know how it gets to be in this bad of shape.
Mm-hmm. 197 owners. I tell you what. Trying to get comfortable here. I tell you, it was nice getting home. My back was killing me after the last day there.
I'm sure sleeping in hotels didn't do your back any favors.
Yeah, they don't have horrible beds. They're just too firm with no softness to them. They're too hard.
Yep.
And their pillows are too big. That's my problem is I should have brought my own pillows. That does everything better. You know, there was a donk running down the track that was just moving, and we all said, you know, if he just put regular wheels and tires on that thing would really move.
I did see that. It was Sublime was live whenever he ran a couple of times. Was it
Hey, Boost Addict, Mob is younger than me, and he could do that. I can't. I'm too old now. See, they were too firm for me, boss man. I like a firm mattress that still got some softness and give to it, but it wasn't so much the beds as it was the pillows. The pillows screwed me up. They were too thick.
they didn't have the soft and the firm pillows?
If they did, I didn't get one.
Every hotel I've ever gone to, they always have
Usually.
like way too many pillows. And I'm like, what's the difference?
no,
Well, they have
they
enough
had-
to line the bed in both styles.
What's up? They had like 4 pillows on this bed, and my wife got 2, and I got 2.
She probably got the soft too.
Hey, Mr. Carroll. I don't know. Maybe I don't think so. Don't not your style. It's not my style either.
No.
Well, let people do what they want with their car. Just not my style. But there was that one donk going down the track that was fast, and like we said, it probably would have been a lot faster with regular tires and wheels. Bossman loves them thick pillows, like his women, like some thick. There's silver. So
Where is it at?
I don't know.
I can't believe I didn't save it.
No. I went through and cleaned out a bunch of pictures in my camera the other day, but it was mostly all work pics.
I never delete any pictures. Every time I do, I need them. And it's all work pictures, part numbers, whatever. I'll take a picture of it so I can do a service report. I don't know how many times I've run into the same problem on a machine. I'm like, you know what? I think I had this problem a couple years ago. So I find the service report and then I look up the picture for the part number from that time.
What do you do, Nate?
I work on ultrasound equipment.
Oh, okay. I used to work on, oh God, it's been so long. I used to work on not ultrasound, but X-ray.
Yeah.
I used to work on X-ray equipment for cancer treatment. It was a fluoroscope that would do all the stuff so they could set up for the radiation treatment.
Yep.
Oh my God, there's a name for them. And then we also service the injectors for the little metal slug injectors that would inject it right into your body and then back out and suck it back out. They were called injectors.
Yeah, that's what I know them as.
Radiation treatment. But the other one's the fluoroscope. It's like a moving table. The thing would go around, fluoroscope X-ray. So it's, you could look at it live. It was a live video X-ray.
Oh.
You could pinpoint and locate exactly where you wanted to send that radiation through.
What made you change jobs? Better money, I'm assuming?
No, I was actually let go from that job.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was not a good thing. It was kind of BS because they fired me for showing up late to work one day. It was the day that I was driving to work, and I had a flat tire on the way to work, and I called and let my immediate supervisor know. They had another reason. I think it was a background check thing. They had another reason to let me go because I let him know I was going to be late. And I was only like a half an hour late.
They were already looking to cut people.
Well, I was just done with training.
I don't get it.
I was just doing the job and I was good at it. So I don't know. That was a long time ago. That was still when I was married to my ex-wife. So long time ago. That was in early 2000s.
Don't worry. You're not missing anything in the industry. I want out of it.
No,
I can't stand the money grabs they have.
Yeah.
Anybody that has not worked in healthcare that goes in health. If you don't understand why your healthcare is so expensive, go work in healthcare on equipment. You'll understand why in a hurry. Hard drive.
Pay that much.
So you go buy like a hard drive to go put in a machine. I just go to Best Buy and pick up a terabyte, say to drive.
Yeah.
It's what, $60-$70? You charge the customer $350.
Oh, well, I get them cheap.
That's
I buy them online.
I'm just like, why? Why do we do this? Why can't I just give it to him for $100?
No, the reason it's so expensive is because like hospitals especially have that black book. You know the black book. It's where they decide what they're going to charge for everything. It does not matter. They decide.
Yep.
And they don't use any rhyme or reason for it. And it's not like they pay their doctors and nurses that much.
No.
Hmm.
And it's true because my aunt had cancer and she had to pay out of pocket. They didn't have insurance. And they were wanting that. So insurance, they say insurance requires you to do these 5 tests. And my aunt's like, so why would I need to do those? I'm paying out of pocket. So which ones don't we need? And they cut like three of the 5 tests out.
But I ask.
I'll be right back.
All right. What's up, Mike's Garage? What's up, Jamie? Wish I could find this car.
Hey everyone.
What's up?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Living the dream. I give up. I can't find that car. I found an S197 that I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know if I've ever seen a Fox body in as bad a shape as this. That's how they work, boosted. Boost addict. I don't get it. It's ridiculous. So you didn't.
For some reason my son was out.
Now it's working.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Good. You didn't make it the Ford takeover?
I didn't say anything.
What?
I think you said what?
No, don't say what you do.
I didn't say anything.
Her name's on Instagram. She's friendly with Carolyn.
Her name on Instagram is different.
Yeah, not Jamie. It's a complete different person last name. Yeah, so
I don't know what her name on it's like was.
it's a girl's name. Is this her?
Not her. That's. I have no fucking clue who that is. Doesn't look anything like her actually. Because if you look, that girl's got makeup on. She never wears makeup ever. Okay, fine, sweetie. You believe what you want to. That is not the same fucking person. Oh,
Tell me, I don't know who she is. So do you know that person?
I have no idea
That's
who
not
the
her.
fuck that is. No, that is not her.
It kind of looks like her, but I didn't know. But she friend requested me and sent me a message today. And that's the only person I know. I don't know who it is.
Hey. Okay, I'm back in here.
Mike said he'll be back on. He's having audio trouble.
I saw that.
He was trying to talk and it wasn't working. Like it worked and then it wasn't working. So
Hey, Paula, how's it going? What's that? I'm trying to read what Victor just said. I missed a bunch of comments here. Sorry.
he was talking about the $8,000, an $8,000 ambulance ride next door. And
Oh my God! Yeah, that's
Static.
ridiculous. 8K. I thought ambulance charges around 2K. Depends on how far you go and where you're at. Born at 20, he spent 3 months in the hospital. His doctor's bill around $335,000, which is a lot.
Joke.
Hey, Mike, sorry about that. A little slow.
Oh, no worries. I was having problems with the audio on my Mac, so I had to switch over to my cell. How's everyone doing tonight?
Oh, I'm okay.
Well, that's good. So tell me about Ford Takeover.
It was a lot of Fords, and we took over Jackson, Tennessee.
There you go.
Yeah, Paul, I know. I know. I was here the other night. I was here last night. The truck mess, well, it wasn't my truck. Ford Takeover was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I had fun until after the drag strip when my car rolled out of my trailer and hit Big Block 402's truck.
What?
Yeah, at a stoplight, right by the hotel. I was so close to the hotel.
Jeez.
Yeah. It
How'd you-
and I'm not sure how it happened. I had all 4 straps tightened. You know, I understood when my car got loose and hit the front of my trailer and screwed it up because I only had the one strap on it in the rear and one in the front. I understood that, and because I had to slam the brakes on like really hard. But you know, I had all 4 straps on, and Big Black was the one helping me when I strapped it down. He didn't do the strapping; I did all that myself. Yeah, I'm not trying to say he did anything wrong, but I'm the one that tightened them all up and I checked them all. I'm not sure how it happened, but I'm going to alleviate that problem with the new straps I bought. They all have safety hooks on them, so they can't come off. They
How's
can't be that.
how's his truck?
His truck had a little bit of just said strap on. Yeah, his truck is fine. His lower bumper cover got a little damage to it. So insurance will take care of it. We both have the same insurance. Good night, Paula. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Every so many miles, it was an 8-mile trip. 8 miles. So I don't know where I would have stopped in that 8 miles to check it, David. That's the problem. It wasn't a long trip. It was from the drag strip, 8 or 12 miles, somewhere between there. Not a long trip. But you can bet that my whole way home in that same trailer, which is more than 8 miles, way more, I was freaking out about it being loose. And I did stop once and check it. You know, and it didn't help that it broke both my latches. So.
Wow. How's the car?
Car seems to be okay. Although I haven't I haven't had time to even check it out other than looking to see if there was any physical damage to it on the outside. But I don't see any damage to it. Like it damaged the F-150, but there's no damage to my rear bumper. Max straps? I think they are max straps. Actually, they're like the 8-foot max straps. Scott Keller, welcome. I can show them to you here in just 1 second. I can pull them up. Which ones I bought? I bought them from U.S. Cargo because they're easy and quick. I can get them fast. Let's see. There you go. 2-inch by 8-inch, graded, same as the ones I had. Let's see. So let's turn the camera back on. I probably could have pulled this up, but there are those. That's the ones I bought. So they've got the safety latches on them, so they can't come loose. Oh, you got resting back safe. That's good. Turn that off and yeah, bye.
Hey.
Yeah. So what was the highlights of the event?
Stuff I missed, I'm sure. Like I left the dyno shootout before the fastest or the highest horsepower car ran. So I didn't get that one. I was tired. It ran towards the end. I have axle savers too. If I had solid axles still, I'd use those. But features short ratchet handle, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Locking snap hooks. That's what I wanted. The locking snap hooks is the reason I bought them. Let's see the burnout competition. I missed that because I was tired of hanging out. Wanted to go back to the hotel before it got late because I was lazy. I just liked hanging out outside with Car Mob, Sublime, Boost Addict, all the guys. There were some good burnouts. I saw some videos. I wanted to stay and do that, but I also wanted to be ready for the next morning. So I came back. I swapped the tires on my car and loaded everything up in the trailer to take to the track that night. Because then I went to the track. Because I went to the track during the day at a TNT Friday night. I should have run Friday night when it was cool, because the track ran all night till like midnight.
Wow.
So
They didn't end up shutting down the track for dew falling.
no, it was good. It was great weather. Friday night was a great night. It had cooled down, but it didn't get dewy until like right around the time that the track shut down. And I what I did was I left my trailer there with the car in it, and I pulled the truck off. And because it's got such a great turning radius, I was able to get it out. And I came back the next morning at like 8:30 before the gates opened, and there's somebody parked next to me, and they've got their car sitting there. So I had to go find Skyler and have him move his car so I could get my truck back in front of my trailer. It's like, hey man, can you move your car for a minute? He didn't have a problem. I just needed moved over because he had it like right in the middle. And I was like, if he moved it if he'd had it over towards his trailer, it wouldn't have been a problem. And then I set up my trailer and got my canopy out. I set it at the end of my trailer over top of my car. And that helped out with keeping it cool. And then I set my trailer up to keep cool. And demolition derby for your Mustang convertible. It's convertible. Go ahead and kill it.
Parts card.
But what was it? A bunch of us were sitting in the trailer during the because it was cooler in there until towards the end when they shut the track down, and it started heating up in the trailer too. But it stayed really cool in there, and I had Carolyn had bought 2 of those misting fans, so I had a misting fan in there and another fan, all running off batteries. And I ran the fan the whole morning, no problem. Phone battery died. Gotcha. It was my ex-wife's car. It's mint. Oh, that's kind of sad. You should don't let the engine get destroyed and pull that out when you're done destroying the body.
Do you use your new pop-up canopy?
No, they ended up not using it. So I went out and bought that for nothing.
I was wondering. I knew
There's
you
$100 down the drain.
Yeah, you'll have it for next time.
Yeah, I won't get rid of this one. Yeah, they were parked over in the shade, so they, on the one side they had shade stuff. Going to scrap it. What engine has it got in it, Scott? Has it got the V8? I mean, at least save the engine. If it's a V8, if it's not, who cares? I mean, although depending on which V6 it is, some of them aren't bad. Oh, the 4.0. Never mind. Scrap that shit.
Yeah. Don't need that. It's not that important.
That's all I got to say about that. The 4.0 is one of the worst V6s they ever made. The 3 wasn't bad. The 3.7 was pretty awesome. I mean, for a V6, it was a pretty awesome engine, in my opinion. But my wife had one, so I really liked it. I liked the way I made it sound. So I had a lot of fun. I had fun. It was over too soon. That's all. And I got there Wednesday, early afternoon. I'd like to do it differently. I'd like for him to maybe make Friday night the track night instead of doing it during the day Saturday, because if it's going to be hot like that, it's just too damn hot. And they shut, like last year they didn't shut the track down even though it was super hot, but it hadn't rained in like weeks at that point, whereas this year it's been raining a lot this year. So I don't know. I'm waiting. So I got some stuff for my trailer today to fix it. I got the little rubber pucks to go up on the top of the door because it destroyed it. It took one of them off, which I'm hoping I can get that screw out, and kind of messed up the other three. So I got replacements for those. But then I got new latches for it, which are a little bit bigger and stronger than the old ones. But I don't know how hard it is going to be to put them in because I got to drill new holes. It's all new stuff. I'll have to take the other ones off. And I noticed that the latches on the part of the door that's on the door, so the little closing latches, they're not bolts. They're actually rivets. They're just large rivets, which I'm going to be replacing with bolts.
Probably a good idea.
Those are fine. The rivets didn't come out. Pieces on the outside got destroyed.
It does amaze me how much a rivet can hold for as
These are-
small as
they're-
they can be.
They're large. They are quite large. For rivets, they are very large. But I'm gonna have to drill them out. I got to get the right kind. So I got to find the bolts, and I got to find the right type of. I mean, they're so far to the outside, my tires don't hit them. I'm not really worried about that. But I want them to be kind of smooth, and you know how they make the bolts that are actually recessed in and flat when you're done, and then you just cut off any excess.
Yep.
So I got to figure all that out. So I don't know if I'll be able to get those replaced. I got one that I can actually put a lock on, but it's really hard to get the latch into it because it's bent wrong. But I should be able to fix that. The other one, it lost half the latch, so you can't get anything in it to hold it. But it actually closes, And but the ones I bought are they have the two mounts on the side with the bar in between, and then the whole thing comes over, so you've got this big 36-inch bar up against the door holding it.
Yeah.
And that'll hopefully hold it in tighter so it didn't leak as much as it did because it was kind of a little loose at the top. It didn't move or anything, but it was loose enough to where it wasn't sealed.
Now, I'm assuming you have like big D rings that you ratchet strap your car down to? Okay.
Yeah, they're in the floor D rings. Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking you had the because I couldn't understand what straps you bought because I was thinking you had like FedEx trailers. Well, I guess I'm going to be one of the few.
I don't have E-Track. I have L-Track.
Okay.
I have L-Track. I have two L-Tracks running down, but they're underneath the carpet. So I can't really use them that well. But if I were to take the carpet out or roll it up, the thing came with the ones that go over the wheels.
Yeah.
But my car's too wide. I can't get in there to get to it. But I could use the L-Track if I wanted. And I have L-Track all on the sidewalls too.
Okay.
And the L-Track is bolted through. And I was just looking under the trailer today, and it's bolted through with large washers underneath the whole floor. Like a lot of bolts holding those in. So, but I mean, I could do both. I could use the L-Track and the D-rings, but the D-rings are fine. They hold fine. I'm just going to be using locking or safety. And I'm also going to change out the hook on my winch because the one on it now is just a hook, no latch. So I'm going to put one of the safety latches on it, safety latch hooks on it, and then keep that attached. So no matter what, even if the other ones come loose somehow or the ratchets come loose, the winch will still be holding it.
So you'll just, at least you won't have to worry about it falling out the back. It'll just roll forward when you hit the brakes and crush your toolbox and stuff all over again.
Oh, no. There's something going in place for that too.
So say you might want to put yourself up as like a giant piece of steel.
No, don't have to do that. I can run a strap across the whole trailer from L-Track to L-Track right in front of it.
That works.
Yep. I could run a couple of them because I have L-Track, like I said, all on the walls. In fact, that's how I get into my car is I have hooks set up on the one on the driver's side. I have with the rings. I have them set up so I can like hold the rings and pull myself over and lower myself down into my car without having to like lean on my car and like possibly damage it or dent it because I'm a heavy ass son of a bitch.
Now your trailer's what? 7.5 foot wide or 8?
8. It's 8 instead of 8.5, which
Yeah.
is what it should be. But it's old. It was built in the late 90s. It was built by Silverlight. And they did horse trailers mostly, and a couple of like trailers for RV trailers. So that's why it looks like a camping trailer.
I
It's
got
got instead of here, let me turn my camera on. Instead of being the V front end, it's like that. It's like this.
Oh,
It's like that. So it looks like a camping trailer. So the ladder on the front goes up at an angle, so I can get up on the roof because it does have a walkable roof.
well, I mean, at that time, you got to think about it. Who was really using enclosed trailers unless it was for business and they were special ordered? It was going to be camper
was for-
companies or horse trailer companies.
Mainly back then, it was for toys. In the late night, well, I don't know. In the 90s, they were doing all kinds of car trailers for cars, tons of them. But I think it was actually designed for more of the side by side. But they weren't very big back then. That wasn't a big thing then. So I don't know. But cars were smaller. They weren't nearly as wide sometimes during that time period.
It's true. I mean, you look at a Fox body versus your car. I'm sure if you set them side by side, I'm sure there's a size difference.
That Tremec tent was awesome. The cutaways of those. I saw that the T56 Magnum cutaway. Oh, it's such a badass. I would love to have one of those.
So now, why? I think I've asked you this before, and I'm sorry if I did. You've mentioned that you would rather have a Tremec if you were to do it all over again versus a Caliber Stage.
Well,
3.
if I was going to stick with the 6-speed, I'd rather have the Tremec because it's top load, and it's just a better transmission than the MT82. It's not the Calumet part of it; it's the MT82 part of it. MT82 is just a shit design, fucking Chinese transmission. And even with the Calumet upgrade to it, the Calumet upgrade doesn't include 5th and 6th gears. They're still stock.
Which are the problems?
No, because I hardly ever use those 2 gears. And if I'm running down the track, I'm never using those 2 gears.
Yeah, you never get the 5th.
No, I will not get to 5th. No, 4th gear rides out pretty hard because 5th is your 1-to-1. And every now and then, if I'm cruising on the freeway doing like 80, then I'll put it in 5th. But if I go into 6, it bogs down the engine too hard. And that's not good when you're doing a direct displacement supercharger.
And whenever you've got a lot higher, you've got quite a bit higher gear. I was going to say I run 6th on the highway, but there's times it's like I don't know if I really want to run in 6th, but I also have a 373 in mine.
Yeah, but see, so if I'm in 5th gear doing like say 65, I'm probably running close to 3,000 RPM.
Gotcha.
Which is weird in 5th gear. That's in 5th gear. That's 1-to-1. But yeah, that T56 Magnum would be a beast of a transmission if I were to switch. And then they've got a slightly different gear ratio too, which I do like their gear ratio. And I can't remember what all the ratios are, but I think I could take off in first gear in one of those.
I think they got a 296 or 297 and a 266 or 261. I was just looking at him this week.
Caution. That's a good idea, Mike's Garage. If I had one, I would strap it across because I do have the side mounts in the back that would be right behind the car. I could cargo nut the shit out of that, and I would do that if I had one. I don't have.
Pick one up relatively cheap.
What's that?
You can probably pick one up at anywhere pretty cheap.
Maybe, but right now I don't have the money for any of them.
It's true.
They're not. When you say relatively cheap, they're still not cheap. The good cargo nets that would hold that kind of weight are not cheap. And for that much, I could get a good airplane cargo net and strap it over the entire car and just strap the whole thing down with it. Later Downhill. That's a great movie. I love the original. So my car goes from second. It starts in second gear at the track and ends in third gear on an 8th mile course. That's it. I get 2 gears. Second, third. That's it. I don't go to 4th unless I'm on the freeway. I mean, I get to 4th gear going to work, but only when we hit the 55. And that's only because I'm just trying not to, I'm trying to keep the RPMs low so the sound's not too loud. Personally, I like the sound, but it's early in the morning when I go to work. So what do you know what the issue with your computer is there, Mike, that you can't get on? Are you sure it was your microphone and maybe not my connection? You could always try it again.
2x10. That might be an issue. Is finding one that's well, I'm sure they make them. Finding a cargo net that would be 8 foot wide, not 10, or something like a box truck size.
Actually, I need one that's like 7.5 foot wide, or a little. Well, no, I guess I do need it 8 foot exactly, but it's easy. You just hook you got to get hooks on it. I got to find a way to hook it in though, because like my I have rings. I have tons of rings, but I don't have ways to hook them into anything. So I need one with actually the L-track hooks on it.
That's what I'm looking right now. I typed in L-track cargo net.
Yeah, for some reason my brain was thinking they were called A-track because they're using aircraft.
Yep, they use them in
L-track.
FedEx trucks. Used them too.
Yeah, they're called L-track. I
I
found
know
that
what
out
they're called.
yesterday when I was looking stuff up. Because I was seeing you got the E-track, which I'm used to in trailers. Usually you have E-track. I personally prefer the L-track over the E-track.
No, that would be the only thing. Is your L-track's too high that the car would try to go underneath of it?
My L-track goes from the floor to the ceiling.
Oh, okay. Yours is top to bottom, not left
Top
to
to
right.
bottom, and there's like 8 of them on either side of the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd show you, but that would require me to put shoes on and go out to my trailer, and that means I'd have to go get my keys, which are in the garage, and possibly lose internet connection because the Wi-Fi in the trailer isn't so great. It's fine all the way out to the trailer, but once I get on the other side of it, it kind of dies out a little bit because the trailer blocks it.
So I would be wet at I guess for shipping restaurant supply stuff.
Oh,
I'm like, why is it on web's west? It'd be like restaurant, but they put web in front instead of RE store.
Oh,
they got a 32 by
Websterant?
80. Yeah.
It's Websterant.
Yeah, that's exactly exactly what it's called.
Oh, they're so cute. They're kind of catch the way they did that. People just love them. What am I drinking? Bud Light? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We've lost
32
everybody.
by 80. Good to 10,000. They say tensile strength is 6,000 to 10,000 pounds. $128.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just I was just curious.
Send me that link.
Am I wrong to
Can
say
you
it was
post
not
a link to it in the chat or not? You can't, can you?
No.
Hey, Nate, go ahead and type something in the chat. I'll make it so you can.
Give me a second.
Just put one letter and type it in the chat. Just so I can get you in the chat. There you go. Now I can do this. And put user in timeout. There we are. Putting you in timeout now. Oh, no, I did the wrong thing, and I made you a moderator. Now you can put it in the chat.
All right, let me copy. Whoop.
Whoa,
Wrong
hey.
tab.
Hey, none of the Pornhub stuff, okay?
No.
You keep that tab to yourself, buddy.
Yes.
I don't need to know what your kinks are.
God, I'm always so amazed how long web addresses are.
Hey, Brailsford. Yeah, I am too. Some of them.
Oh, it's too long. It won't let me. It's too many
Really?
characters. It's too much. It only lets you put 200 characters. It's 292.
What the hell?
That's what I said. This is really long.
Oh my god! What's the name? Websteron? Is that what it is?
Yeah, if you type in box truck carrier cargo net, it was the right at the top. They always have all the ones. It was the third one over.
Well, I found Websteron store. That was pretty easy.
Okay, well, type in the item number or try the item number in the
What is
search.
it?
387 B as in boy N 0515.
Well, that would work if I type right. I had 1 4. Oh, cargo net, 128.49 each. Let's see what we got here. We got StreamYard. We can do this.
It's 80, so I don't know if it's really wide enough for you though. That'd be 7.5, right? Yes.
Well, my inside the trailer is 8 feet wide.
It's 8 feet. Okay.
Yeah, see that's what I have.
Oh,
That's what I found. That's the one.
Yep.
Like how I did that. That's crazy. That is Adrian Safety Solutions Freight Saver, 80-inch by 32 inch. What 80 inches?
7.5.
But that's also E-Track. I see E-Track in there, not L-Track.
Try. See, I typed in L track before, and this one I seen that. I typed in.
I'm sure it saw track, and that's what it put up. It didn't care. What do we got here? 80 inches wide. 80 inches is 7 feet, brother. 7.5.
I'm thinking 72. No, that's 6 foot. So that'd be only 6.5 foot.
Oh.
Sorry, my math. I'm an
That's
idiot.
thick. I was gonna say that's not that. It's only 6.5 feet because 70.
Yeah, it doesn't do you no good.
Actually, it's 6 foot 8 inches.
Yeah, it doesn't do you no good. Funny.
That's just weird. It's a weird size. Who
An
makes
L track cargo net, and I came up with like the stupid bungee ones, and I'm like, no, I'm not trying to hold boxes in my phone.
Oh! Stupid bungee ones. You mean like the spider nets?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to have one of those. They're great for trucks. For beds of trucks, those things are awesome.
Yeah.
For
But
extra
they're not going to hold my car
thing,
back whenever it breaks loose.
yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. You probably just have to buy an old airplane cargo net and just modify it and find a way, just do some modifications to it.
They probably. I wonder if they make adapter. Now that's an idea. I wonder if they make
track L-track adapter. No, they don't. That I've found.
Okay.
I prefer L-track because I like the way it works better than E-track. E-track is great. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to give it a bad name. I do like E-track as well. If I had it in my trailer, I'd use the shit out of it. But
that's the thing is E-track. I can see where it can fail.
Actually, E-track will fail before L-track usually, depending on how it's made. Like mine are all made out of aluminum. They could fail, or maybe they're steel, but they look like they're aluminum.
55 by 140 is too big.
And like I said, I have the rings in mine on the driver's side set it at a height where I can grab them and walk across the so you could really tell it's only an 8-foot trailer because the wheel wells are really narrow.
Yeah.
And 8.5, they go out a couple more inches on either side. And that's the difference. It really is. It's just, I still have the wheel wells, and those were what hits my door anyway.
Yeah.
But I use the rings to like pull myself over, and then I hold on to one, and I'm putting like all my weight on it for the most part because I open the door slightly because it'll open like 1.5 inches, and then I put my foot in through the window because I leave the windows down, and then I pull myself up, hold my full body up so I can put the other leg in. So I'm basically holding myself on one ring, and I'm not light. I'm like 250 pounds. And this is, one ring, and I'm holding it with like one finger because, I can do that for a second or so. Enough to get myself there, and I just lower myself into the seat. I cannot do it if the door is closed all the way It's too tight. And you have to remember, I put the car in with it biased towards the passenger side. So
Yeah, if you had an actual
even
8.5,
if I had 8.5
would
foot,
help a lot.
my door would still hit and only open as much as it does in this trailer because it would still hit the wheel well. Because I had an 8.5 foot before. But it gave me more room around it to be able to walk around the car easier. And my wheel wells were wider, so I could actually stand on them no problem. And it was a lot longer because it was a 34 foot instead of a 24 foot. Make a door on the side of the trailer. Yes, I could do that, but then I'd have to ramp inside the trailer. I'd have to build a ramp in the trailer so that the car would drive up high enough that the door would clear the wheel well. And making a ramp or a door in the trailer would need to be wider than where the struts are, so I'd have to reinforce it somehow to make it strong enough to hold and not fall in. And that's just too much work, MJ. If I'm going to do that, I'm just going to buy one that's got the escape hatch in it and build the ramps up so that it'll ramp up over the wheel well, which is what most people do.
82 by 82.
What I need, MGI, is I need that stacker trailer that dude had with the Fox body that was sitting on the other side of the parking lot. That really, really nice stacker trailer.
What was it? Like a double stacker enclosed trailer?
It was a double stack. It was shorter than my old one, but it was the full height. And he had this huge escape hatch with the removable wheel well fender. So that all came off. So you could just walk right in and out of your car, no problem.
So it like the sides opened up on air shocks?
Just the one side.
Okay, just the one side.
And it was a door that opened, it opened up instead of to the side.
Yep.
It was a big door. It's like huge.
I forget who makes that.
And then a lot of people make them. But his was, I'm pretty sure his was one of the Edge trailers from Hallmark.
Can't hide.
It was like the way newer version of what I used to have, although it was shorter than the one I had. It wasn't as long as my old one, and mine had my old one had a 20-foot lift in it. Yeah, they're big bucks. The last one I had cost me like $38,000 when I bought it. I didn't get that much for it when I sold it because it was damaged, had damage on it, and it was older. It was not a new one. It was a 2003, so it was steel instead of aluminum. Weighed 16,800 pounds empty. How's it going, Brailsford?
Well, it's going good.
That's good. Yeah, I got to know. How did you like the track day?
I'll be honest. Probably the most fun I've ever had in a car. Ever.
There you go. There you go. That's why I say I love drag racing. I do.
So
nothing like it. But the road course is my passion.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm waiting right now. So they didn't let me put my camera up in the car.
Yeah.
And so I'm in negotiations right now with their, headquarters. I'm trying to get my footage. Like I'm not trying to like use it for anything like to log my G forces and that crap. I just want it to make a video and like, I'm not a big YouTuber, but I'm like the biggest boss YouTuber, and the boss car is a track oriented car. So I figured, hey, let me use it to advertise that community for you. And so I'm trying to see if they'll send it to me without me having to pay, because they want like $250 for a day's worth of footage. And I'm like, nope.
So what was great for me is when I went to my racing school was the school at Pacific Raceways, which is a great school. You're able to use your own car. And guess what? There's a camera in my car. There's multiple cameras in my car. Well, and they couldn't tell me I couldn't have that in my car. But this is race training, like Skip Barber, but probably a little different because it was mainly made. I mean, it really good course, really good instructors. Performance driving school. If you look it up online, you'll see it's probably just as good as Skip Barber, if not better. It's got one of the better better instructors in the U.S.
So the Skip Barber, the lead instructor for me was a guy named Terry Earwood, who's won NHRA, multiple
Right.
things. I don't know. He's won a bunch of stuff. And then
Nothing. I'm not saying anything bad about Skip Barber. I'd love to go to the school there and play
I'm
around.
not either. I'm not saying you are.
But the one we went to was just, you use your own car unless you rented one of their cars.
See,
And so I had my cameras in there. So and I've done so much road course racing. I have plenty of video of it. If you look on my channel, you'll find it.
yep.
And some of it I do when my GoPros would actually record the GPS information. It was great. They don't seem to anymore for some reason. I was able to get like the maps up and do lap times, and it's great.
My biggest regret is not bringing my draggy.
Oh,
But so the cool thing is, I'll tell the story about some of this stuff like probably next week. But like the guy so you follow an instructor so you can learn the lines,
right.
and the guy I was following used to have a boss, and he sold it to jumpstart his racing career. That's how he became a pro, and it's the most insane story I've ever heard in my life. The dude literally risked probably going to prison to become a professional race car driver. So
Really?
it is ridiculous. Yeah, I'll tell that story later. But like I showed up, right? What's up?
Who was it?
His name's Kyle Ranieri. He's like 25 years old.
Oh, I don't know that name.
He races for Audi in some front wheel drive series.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I had a couple of different coaches but they rode with me in my car, to teach me how to drive.
see, we did that in the morning, and then we got to get on the track on our own in the afternoon. And it was funny. They break you into two groups, right? And the first group, like the first time out, they'll pull you in if they need to coach you. And so they put me in the Roush Stage 3 my first time out, and they pulled us back into the pits, and they're like, "Hey, we don't need you to downshift the second. This is your first time out. Take it easy." I was like, "Oh, sorry," but
I wanted to.
But then the second time out, right? They figured out who was like the more aggressive team, and so
Right.
they'd send you out first, and then the second team would follow you behind. And we were only out there for I don't know, probably 15 minutes or so. But by the time they were wrapping it up, like we were about to lap the other team.
So I was taught well enough that one time I was driving this is when I was in my Focus, when I got my old Focus, and it was my track car, and it was set up pretty well, and it was not stock at all.
Mhm.
It was fully not stock, and it was made for the course. I was behind a Porsche GT3, and that son of a bitch could not lose me, and he was getting pissed.
Well, they moved us into like the Roush Stage 3. They put me in that first, and then I moved into the Roush or the Mustang GT, the 3-valve, and I actually preferred that because that was set up. I mean, it was more raw, and I actually really enjoyed that a lot more, especially following the instructor. And it wasn't until I actually felt like I wasted my money on the track insurance up until the last race, because I did have one moment where I had an oh shit moment, like
An oh shit moment.
like I was like, because the instructor, I told him I was like, I want to go this time, and he was pushing it, and we actually got to this like one straight where I was actually able to put it into another gear that I hadn't made it to earlier. And I didn't account for that when I needed to downshift before I went into a turn. And so I started downshifting when I normally started braking, and I realized, oh crap, I'm a little further into this than I wanted to be. And dude, it was so much fun. I had such a good time.
What I loved about my old Focus, especially, was the brakes on it. I had the brakes. I had Willwoods all the way around, and they were race made, and the pads I had on them were track pads, and I would love how late I could wait to brake in the turns. I could come right to the turn and then super late brake with an early leave on the apex, and oh my God, that thing would go around the turn so fast. I cannot wait to get my new Focus to that point. And at the power levels I used to have.
So you want to know my new struggle?
What's that?
I don't know if I want the blower anymore.
I was gonna say, when are we doing the Max NA?
I don't know if I want the blower. I
You don't-
think I do, but I'm
Well,
like,
I run turbo cars for track but they're front wheel drive, completely different. I also had a supercharged all wheel drive car that was fucking amazing, either straight line or at the track.
so
and-
the pro.
And my
Sorry,
Mustang stock, my NA Mustang, was still faster than my Focus on the track.
So the pro driver I was following was driving a Hyundai G70,
Oh, nice.
and it was, hey, dude, I tell you what, that thing's got some. It's pretty well planted. I was pretty impressed, but I was also following it in a prehistoric Mustang by today's standards.
Right.
But I mean, I stayed I was like right on his bumper as close as I could be. I'm hoping I get the footage. I really want the
What
footage.
I
At least
love, I
last
hope you can get the footage too. What I loved was, so I had the coach in my car, and when we first got in, after he watched me drive a couple of laps around, this is my first time. He took over in my car, and he showed me what my car could do, and then he taught me how to do that same stuff in my car.
Yeah.
Where I got so good, and this was the Mustang, and before I had changed the Mustang over to be a drag car and did a couple of different changes to it, my God, that thing would handle like oh fuck, that independent rear suspension is so nice.
Yeah.
Not so nice on the drag strip. Really sucks for the drag strip, but for a road course, my Focus couldn't keep up, and my Focus was pushing 350 at the front wheels in a car that was hundreds of pounds lighter. And it was about a 10-second difference between those two cars at any of the tracks I've been on. And you have to drive them slightly differently because one's rear wheel drive, one's front wheel drive. So you've got oversteer and understeer. It's what you're going to get out of both of them. They're both stick shifts. They both have 6 speeds in them. But it's nice that I know how to drive both, and now I know, because of the Audi, how to drive the all-wheel drive cars, because they're completely different as well.
Yeah.
So in all-wheel drive, if it starts losing it in a turn, you hit the gas, and it pulls itself right out. If it's a good all-wheel drive, like the Audi was, and mine was a 2015, so a V8, I believe, Audi S4. And it's all-wheel drive system. If you'd start slipping a little bit going through the turn, you hit the gas and it would pull it right out of the turn. No problem. Whereas if you did that in the V8, you're going off the road. If you do that in the 4-cylinder with the front-wheel drive, you're going into the inside curve. You know, if it's there, it's going to pull you. It's going to pull you way too hard into the curve. Whereas the V8 will take you outside. You know, the rear wheel, not V8 so much, rear wheel drive will take you outside the curve. The front wheel drive will take you to the inside of the curve where you don't want to be either. Whereas the 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive takes you right through if you hit the gas when you start slipping a little bit. It's kind of good to learn on all three, and I have. I'd love to have an all-wheel drive still, but I still have both the Focus and the Mustang, and I may redo the Mustang to make it back to a track car, but it's just so far to get to a track around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like a couple hour drive to get to a track. Like we have one down south, about 2.5 hours away, I think. The Barber, not Skip Barber, but Barber track. It's down there in Birmingham as well. The next one, I think, the other one is up at Bowling Green by the Corvette Museum. They have one. And then you've got the Road Atlanta, which is about 3 hours away from here, maybe 4, which I really want to do in either of my cars. But yeah, road course racing is about 5 times as much as drag racing for the track time.
I mean, there's good reason for it.
Oh yeah, I understand, but it's still expensive as hell.
Well, you mentioned that, dude. You talk about the so I mean we were talking. You know, everybody starts to talk when you're waiting for your turn to go. And
Yeah.
So the people in my group, there was a guy who's some like tech CEO, and then the other lady was a freaking. She owns the fastest full-bred Arabian horse in the world. And
You're
she's
bumping
like,
elbows with royalty.
They had money.
yeah, and I'm the guy who's in the military, and I'm here because I won.
I won.
I'm like Charlie from Willy Wonka.
Yeah. But did Willie give you the track at the end? No.
No, I got screwed.
They were like, "Good day, sir." I said, "Good day," and you laughed and tail between the legs. Okay.
If I could do it all over again, I never would have hopped in the stage 3 Roush at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think I preferred because you're following. Like I was at the 1-day event. If I did the 3-day event, I eventually would have gotten more time for myself. But
Right.
at the 1-day, it was all lead follow, and you're just following the instructor to learn the lines. And the Roush had so much left on the table that I wasn't really pushing it. Whereas in the Mustang GT, the G70 you're chasing has about the same horsepower. It's independent rear suspension, and so it can outhandle that Mustang, and you're really pushing it to keep with it, which I really liked.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So an S550 does way better.
Oh yeah, the Roush was like it was too easy. Like I was like, man, I had the cooled air seats on. Matter of fact, they told me to turn that off after I pulled in. There's like you're gonna overheat the engine.
What, your cooled seats?
Yeah, that's what I had the air. Well, the air. They said they could hear the fans running when I drove by.
See, the cooled seats in my car don't actually run the air conditioner. They just blow a fan.
I tell you what, I think Roush did something wrong. Like I think they literally threw the blower on and didn't modify any of the engine parameters. Like the nannies kept trying to kill the power all the time. And
So I do know we were taught when I went to performances, they taught us leave everything on. Don't turn it to track mode, but try and drive it to where it doesn't try and correct for you, so your lights don't flash. And once you learn how to do that, then you can turn them off and really push it, and you'll do way better.
the problem is no lights were flashing. It was just
Well, that's because they had them turned off. Those nannies are probably all turned off in that car.
no.
Except
They
maybe-
were killing power, dude. I had
Well,
nothing.
that's different. Killing power is different from like the traction controls.
The 3 valves, coming out of a turn, like the car was bogging that motor down.
Oh, I
It's
hate
not
that.
giving me any power. The 3 valves were pulling away from me for a brief second, and then I'd eat them up in a straight. But like outside of that, man, and then in the straight, it really sucked because I'm sitting there going rah rah, like tapping the gas because
That's
there's
what
so
killed
much
my
more.
focus. Was the reason my Mustang was faster, because in the straightaways my focus couldn't keep up, but in the turns I could go way faster.
So something funny happened though. So I checked in on Monday, and the school was Tuesday.
Right.
And I was leaving to go get dinner, which it's in the middle of nowhere. So I actually had to drive to go find a spot to eat. But as I'm leaving, I see one of the Skip Barber cars coming out, one of the GTs, the 3 valves. And they're about 325 horsepower is what they have them up to. And at least that's what they say in the brochure. They got modified exhaust, so I'm sure it's got to be close to there at least. But I'm like, I'm gonna see what this guy's doing. Like, why is he out here on the street? And so I pull over and I pull up my GoPro and let him go around me, and he just takes off. And so I'm like, well, we're gonna follow this guy. Yeah, it was fun. But I really would love to. I want to take the Boss out, but I also see how it's so expensive because I drove the piss out of that GT.
I would love to see you take your Boss onto a road course.
I would love to see me do that too, but so Tony's Ford garage, Tony's Fords and Mustangs, Mustangs and Fords. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He invited me to NC Car, which is about 3 hours north of me, in September, maybe. I can't remember, but
So
I
about
might.
the same time Mustang Week's going on.
I don't know, dude. I'm honestly Mustang Week. If I go, I can only make it like Saturday. So,
I can't go this year.
but
I'd love to, but
if I can go to a track event that's like semi-safe, where because they do cruises or rallies, right? And they show up to these tracks and drive, and so they set the parameters where okay, this is the passing lane, right? You must flash and acknowledge
Right.
and all that crap.
right,
And
you gotta
so I'd feel comfortable doing that now that I've had some time on a track. Like
You
I just
point
wanted
to
time on
pass?
the track before I did it.
you do the point to pass.
Yeah, something like that. Something
Yeah,
like that
point to
where
pass, you gotta have your windows down so you can point.
Yep.
I've gotten up to the point where I raced the guys with the no point to pass, but we're still low enough to be. We only have certain passing areas. You can't just pass anywhere. I haven't gotten the license to where I could just pass anywhere.
Maybe I'm going to put a poll up on my channel now. I'm going to do NA build or continue for the blower.
Everybody's gonna vote blower.
Everybody's
know.
going to vote blower, but a good NA build is a great car. I mean, I went blower on mine,
So
and I don't know if it was the best decision I made, but I mean, for drag strip, it's
I don't want to spoil. So I don't want to spoil the story because it's literally, dude. I can't even. It's like a movie plot. Like the dude's like the kid I'm talking about. Like I don't believe he fabricated this story because
Can you get him on your channel to do the story live?
Oh, I don't know. He did. We're our Facebook friends now.
Well,
but
you should talk to him. See what you can do to get him. Maybe if not this week, maybe next week. Get him to come on live, kind of like you do with the Boss 302s.
maybe we'll see. I'll see.
Hey, no, wouldn't hurt.
But yeah, but it was I think he had his Boss tuned. I think he was close to. It was like 89K.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and he was like friends with Manumatic, and he had some parts on there that they don't make anymore, but they were running on the 302R, 302S cars.
Right. Look at what MJI said. He said max out the NA raw power.
I know. I see.
That's. I don't have a problem with you going just raw power max out. That'd be awesome. Bolt-ons only, no boost.
Well,
NAs are
bolt-ons.
great. I love running it. You can always go nitrous if you
I
want.
saw what Bossman made. He's made that like 490 horsepower, but that must have been a happy dyno because every
that dyno is not a happy dyno. That's a Mustang dyno.
Every extreme Boss build I've seen, most people top out about 460 or so. I don't know how he possibly could have gotten that high.
But he buys power.
He doesn't. It's
unicorn engine.
No. I don't buy that.
I do. I buy unicorn engines anytime. I can buy.
Yes.
It's magic, bros.
Did he have a Cobra Jet?
No, he didn't.
No, I mean that'd be the only way I could fathom it, honestly.
It just seems an odd bit to me because usually Mustang dynos are heartbreak dynos, so I don't get it. They ran it twice just to make sure, and it did better the second time.
Let me put it this way. So there's another guy who's on YouTube for a while, and I think he stopped, but his channel is called Tracking Ponies.
Yeah.
I think he got his to 500, and Bossman was just shy of 500. But this dude did everything you could do, all the expensive mods, because he actually he was like a racer for that car. And so he like was just at 500. So for me to believe that it's 493 at the wheel, I feel like a much more is needed.
Yeah, I know. It seemed odd when he came up close to 500. It did. Good tuner? Yeah, that's a great tuner. More like it, MJI.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Amazing tuner.
Yes, magic.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, you were running one of them 3 valves, and you had a lot of fun with it. Could you imagine adding another 150 horse on that?
God, that would be nice.
I don't know how much more you'd want on a road course.
Oh no, you want all the power you can get. You really do, but you want it to be controllable. Like direct displacement works better than turbos, in my opinion, for that. But you want all the power you can get when you're pulling out of a corner. When you're coming off that apex and you're pulling out of the corner, you want all the power, every bit of it.
I mean, I know a guy.
Coming out.
There's a guy. Sorry.
Go on.
There's a guy in the boss group, Nate. His name's Oscar. God, I can't remember if he's got a Pro Charger or Paxton, but he tracks his with that. And the Paxton's still pretty daily drivable. So,
yeah, Paxton's not bad.
I'm looking here.
But I'm serious. When you're coming out of a corner, you want all the power you can get to go into that straightaway or into the next corner. You just need that pull away power all the time. That's why, my focus was not as quick as my Fox or my Mustang. It was always a little bit slower between, it was actually, depending on the track, was between 7 and 10 seconds slower because of long straightaways. Because in a long straightaway, the Mustang just blew it away. And the Mustang was NA at the time. It didn't have any power adders. So it was just faster, It was a faster car. But in the corners, I finally got to the point after learning how to drive it, I could take the corners pretty much as fast in the Mustang as I could in the Focus. It's all about learning the car and just learning how to drive it. It's a little different. Your apex is generally the same place, but your entry and your exit are slightly different depending on your front wheel drive, rear wheel drive consideration.
well, I learned a lot as far as turning. A lot.
It's a hell. Turning's hell.
Well, I'll tell you what now. I am seeing how much grip those GT cars actually have, and they're running street tires.
Were they?
Yeah, they had street tires on there because they wanted you to feel the edge.
Okay.
And seeing how much grip they had even on that, I was like, wow, this is. I can't imagine how much better my car would be if I just adjust my suspension a little bit.
What street tires were they running?
Goodyears. What were they?
They were Goodyear?
Yeah.
Were they F1s?
Yeah, it's probably
the Comp something.
Comp 2s?
Yeah.
Those are BF Goodrich, though, I thought.
Let me see. They're good. They're Goodyear something. I'll tell you what, though, the Roush, I was cooking those brakes.
Kind of brakes they run the stock brake?
On the Roush, it was a stock car. On the GTs, they were upgraded kits for everything.
Okay. Yeah, I've cooked a bunch of brakes in my time. Like I said, the Focus had Willwoods all the way around. The Mustang right now has them on the front.
You know what? I haven't looked at parts for the Boss forever. So I'm kind of going to go look and see how much some stuff costs now.
Yeah, it's not cheap, and right now, everything costs like twice what it did 2 years ago.
Oh, I know, right?
It's ridiculous how much things cost. Like I looked up tires for my truck. If I had to change out all 6 of the tires on my truck right now, would be $4,000+ for tires, mounting, balancing, all that.
Well, you can get the BBK still for $700.
BBKs?
So it looks like some of the Roushes had BFGs and another one had Goodyears. Sorry, I'm friends with you on Facebook. I was curious.
Yeah. See that video? Which video are we talking? MJI? The track?
Well, I just want to see. Yeah, I just want the video because I want to show, like, Maddox wants to see it, the kids want to see it. So I want, and but I could absolutely go out there I'd love to go out there again. The campus there is beautiful. So, or whatever you want to call it, the facilities, the land, the property. I'd love to just take my camper out there and go camp for a weekend and go watch some GT races. They got a shooting range there.
Well, that's pretty awesome with shooting range and all.
Shooting range, kart track, all that stuff.
I need to go to Watkins Glen this year. They always have a vintage race weekend, I believe.
Oh, Watkins.
Last year they always feature a different car every year, and that last year was the Mustang, and they take you through they call it the old track.
Hmm. Well, this sucks. Sublime's still got family over. He can't come on. I'm just sad that Ford Takeover is over already. I waited so long for it, and then I went there early, and it was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we left Sunday. So 4 days, hanging out with the people I hang out with on here. Some of them, and it was good seeing everybody. It was great seeing everybody, and what was really fun is I stayed sober almost every night until Saturday night after my car came out of the trailer, and hit somebody else's car, and that's when I started drinking. I did real good this year because last year I was drunk almost every night. Did you hear what happened there, Brailsford?
As far as what?
My did you see the name of the stream tonight?
Hold up. Oh shoot. Where'd it go? Hold on. I've closed it on another tab, so I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. So what the name of the stream was? Cars don't just roll out of trailers, do they?
Oh crap!
Yeah, because mine did at a stoplight right by the hotel.
Are you serious?
Big Block 402's truck, brand new truck, 900 miles on it. My car blew the door open, so it destroyed the latches. Rolled out of the trailer and hit his truck. Luckily, at a stoplight, and it was in gear, so it was really slow. Damaged his truck just a hair. The lower bumper got a little damage on it. My
That's
car
crazy.
didn't seem to have much any, but how it happened, we don't know, because all the straps were still like lying there where they should have been. They were still around the D rings in the floor, and they hadn't slipped or anything, but it came loose somehow.
That sucks.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, I was at the track one time at the drag strip here, and I saw this guy offloading. I found out it was a turbo 2019, and it made some good power. He was all by himself, and he had a pretty high trailer, and because I think it was a fifth wheel trailer, and he's offloading this thing, and all I see is the car starts rolling off the trailer, and he hops down and he gets over there and pulls the e-brake. I'm like, huh. That was kind of a weird way to offload a trailer. I started talking to him, offload your car. Started talking to him later. He's like, yeah, I forgot. I didn't put it in gear. It just rolled off. I was like, oh.
So mine was in gear because mine doesn't have an e-brake. If it had an e-brake, it would have been on. But I don't have a parking brake on it. It just doesn't have them anymore. So it rolled out of my trailer and hit Big Block's brand new truck. it was somebody I knew, that was kind of good. It sucks that I knew him, and I felt really bad about it. But he was there and watched me strap it down. He knows it was down, and all 4 straps were tight. We have no idea how it came loose.
Does your car have an auto start? Did it try starting?
No, my car has a manual.
Some people put them on there because they're stupid.
Yeah, my car doesn't have an auto start. Does not have that. That would be crazy. Because I always leave it in gear to park it because it doesn't have a parking brake.
Yeah.
I can't park it any other way other than putting it in gear. I don't see any damage on my car. Oh, Big Block's awesome. I love Steven. Steven's a great guy. Big Block 402, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So is MJI. MJI is pretty sweet too. I don't know. He comes in here every now and then.
Yeah,
But,
MJ. I love hanging out with MJ.
These guys are fun to hang out with. I wish MJI could have brought one of his cars. It would have been good, but he was there. Isaiah was there, and Isaiah's growing, man. He's getting big. I mean, for his age, he's getting big. He's nowhere near MJI's size because MJI towers over me. He reminds me of my son who towers over me, but MJI is bigger. Not in a bad way. He's a very prominent guy who stands out in a crowd because he's tall and he's built. He's got a beard that just, I would love to have. But it's good seeing everybody that I saw this weekend. I wish we could do it more often, but that's just how it goes. We all live so far apart. But yeah, it was just weird having my car roll out of my trailer. When I started taking off at the light, I heard this weird sound, and it sounded like my trailer had come off the hitch, and was dragging the ground. But what that was the door of my trailer dragging the ground. So I don't know how it happened. But on the way home, so I'm freaking out. I used 2 different hooks on the front, and I think that's what it was. Is I need to replace my tie down kit on my car because I think the 2 outer ones are kind of damaged from pulling it in using a winch, and it bent it. So I need to replace the front piece, but unfortunately, Steeda only sells the whole kit, so I got to buy the whole kit for the 3rd time. And I'm going to call them and see if I can just buy the front piece because that's all I need. I don't even need the bolts because I have good bolts. I just need the front piece.
Hopefully they work with you.
Huh?
So hopefully they work with you.
It would be nice as much stuff as I've bought from them in the past. I bought 2 of their wings, which are hundreds of dollars a piece. I bought that tie down kit numerous times, and then I've bought about $4,000 worth of other stuff. So they've definitely got their money out of me. Yeah, so MJI, that's right. Fatboy Fox is correct. I got there Wednesday. I got there Wednesday early afternoon, like right afternoon. In fact, I think I checked into the hotel around 2. I waited a little while to check in, and it still wasn't long enough. 2 days is not long enough. So, the Ford takeover was actually Friday and Saturday, and I get there Wednesday and Thursday. And in fact, Thursday night, there is a pre-meet at the same place the pre-meet's at. And there were actually a lot of people there on Thursday. Couldn't believe how many were there actually on Thursday. On Wednesday, there were about half of what was there Thursday. So, like on Wednesday, I know that the first picture I took was of my car, Boosted's car, and Sublime's car, all sitting there at the hotel, just at our hotel, early. There were a couple other people, but I understand not everybody can get that time off. I asked for this time off like 8 months ago. like right after I started my job. Same with Party at Mobs, which is coming up next week.
I don't believe these American Muscle deals are actually deals at all.
They're not. They really aren't. I
All
think.
right, gents. I need to go to bed. I got work in the morning.
Yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow morning too, and I had like an 11-hour day today, so I think I'm going to cut it. It's been 2 hours, guys. I would like to thank everybody for coming in the chat and on the panel. It's been good seeing everybody, and I'm going to call it a night, and we will see you next week. Except next week, I should be at Mobs, so Pink's Grass should be going live for Mobs next week. We'll see.
Later.
Later, all. Thank you, Pinks.
Thanks, MJ. I appreciate that. Y'all have a good evening, and I will see you next time. Take it easy and keep it in the garage.